Hey, good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. I don't know what time it is anymore, but I was searching through some wheat cents today, and I wanted to share every single one of my finds out of the, let's see, it was about 1,700 pieces. Believe it or not, this little group netted a lot of cool, interesting, not only errors of sorts, but repunchment marks, things of that type. And you guys are going to enjoy this little montage of various dates and mint mark variations to look for. Yeah, sorry about that. But before we get started, as always, the best way you can support Blue Ridge's channel, my own, of course, is to hit the like button, share and subscribe. And right up here, where my pointer is, I'm going to have a link to the brand new channel that me and a buddy had put together. And we are trying to make it entertaining. We did a video today, so my buddy will upload the new video tomorrow. But it's a lot of fun. We're trying to raise money for the very first YouTube scholarship program. So you don't want to miss that. But the link is up there. So this first coin that we're going to look at here is the earliest variety that I have. And it is a 1945 D over D repunchment mark. As you can see, the secondary D is north of the primary mint mark. So this is a pretty neat variety and one that you don't come across too often, but you can see the extra D right above it. All right, so that's the first coin there. My allergies are kicking up today, so you have to excuse me even more so. But here's a nice one. This is a 53 D over D repunchment mark. This one just kind of sticks out there. It's kind of hard to miss. In case everybody's wondering, a 10 times power magnifier is more than adequate for identifying a lot of these varieties, some of which are in the Cherry Picker's Guide, and then some of them of which, you could find on websites like coppercoins.com, lincolncentresource.com, Variety Vista, just to name a few. So this is a 53 D over D repunchment mark. This one's a beauty, in spite of its condition. Kind of like a fine low VF type grade, but an RPM is an RPM, so I'll take that. So we got quite a stack to go through here tonight rather. And what do we have here? It's a 1953, so let's go ahead and look around, see what we have. Nothing there, but check out this die crack that goes right through the U in trust and right into Lincoln's head, almost all the way through. That's crazy. I went under the magnifier with this bad boy. I'm like, oh my God, that thing is nuts. That's so crazy. I gotta check cuts on coins to see if that one is attributed. So this one is a 55D. Give me a second for it to 55D. And this one is a BIE set. Okay, like all other BIEs, the BIE is simply a die chip in between the B and E. These are extremely collectible. And they were a lot of fun to find. It's kind of one of those errors that have flown under the radar for many years, and that people are really starting to collect these. And as you've seen in some of my previous videos, these coins sell for a nice little chunk of money, because a lot of people are trying to assemble one of every die state, I guess is what you call it. So there's a 57D with a little die chip in the 9 there. And this one is another BIE. This one completely engulfed the bottom loop of the B and went into the E. So that's pretty nuts. Nothing else of note on that coin. So that was a beauty. I like that one. Here is a 52S. There you go. Looks like it's a minor repunched mint mark on there. And no BIE. And it's got a big old die break. And, oh yeah, Lincoln's even got a little bit of a thread on his mouth. Yeah, his skull flap is kind of very prominent on this one. It's an interior die break is what they call these. People are starting to collect these as well, and then you would have to, you just look on cudsoncoins.com. Pretty neat. And that one is actually in relatively good shape too. It's about an AU. Here is a 50D, I believe. Filled mint mark, of course. And this one is also a BIE cent. Okay, big old die chip in between the B and E. It looks like a letter I. He's got a little bit of cotton in his ear. Crazy. Yeah, someone ought to tell Lincoln that, if you use a Q-tip, you stop when there's resistance. And what we have here, oh, look at that, 52S with a huge die chip that connects the 5 to the S. I think that's the one thing of note on this one. And it is. I'm going to refrain from showing you guys the reverse because obviously the fun stuff is on the side that I put it on. Here's a 55D. And another BIE. Just think, I pay, 3 to 4 cents a piece for these things, and the BIE cents sell anywhere from $3 to $5. So, is it kind of worthwhile to look through the Lincoln Wheat cents? Absolutely. Is it searched all the way through? No way, Jose. And this one is even a mild repunch mint mark. It's tilted a little. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can tell by the bottom left serif of the D is got a little bit of splitting in there. Okay, and we have a 57D. I think this is a BIE as well. There you go. Pretty good. I think this is just like the other one I showed you. Same die state and everything. Although that die chip in between the B and E is just slightly shorter. So we have a 55S. What could we have here? Sure enough, look at that. A full-featured die chip in between the B and E, which truly does look like an I. Liberty. All right. Pretty cool. Here's another 55S. I'm pretty sure this is another, and it sure is. It looks exactly like the last one, so I'm pretty sure it's the same die state and everything. Yep. Quite a few BIEs in this batch. I was more than a little bit starstruck with all the content found in this bag, which, by the way, came from a coin shop. In case you're wondering, a 55D. There you go. Not the greatest of shape, but that's definitely a BIE there, one that we could all enjoy. 57, Philadelphia. There you go, BIE. So we have, what, 1 or 2 left here of the BIE cents. Here is a 57D, same deal, BIE. This one's a little bit smaller. You actually still have a clear bottom curl of the letter B. The die chip hasn't formed yet on this particular die state. So you can kind of see the progression a little bit. Condition ain't no thing. As you can see, that one had little black spots, but, it doesn't matter to me. 55S, and this one is the final BIE cent, which, by the way, makes number 3 of the same die state. So, yeah, I have a trifecta there on that one. All right, back to some more interesting stuff. Here is a 54S RPM. Okay, you could tell by that extra chunky, extra top loop right there. Pretty neat, don't you say? Don't you think? Yeah, nothing else of note on that coin. And what else we got here? Yeah, we got about maybe 15 coins left. Here's a 54D. As you can see, it's a repunchment mark. The underlying D is north of the primary D, and you can see the lines not only in the inside curl of the D, but also above it, almost touching the 5. Pretty cool, huh? Trying to get the best. There it is, much better. Yeah, it's ever so faint, but that one is actually pretty nice enough that it's easy to identify. Here's a 53S. Look at that RPM. You can see the secondary S. Whoops. The secondary S to east of the primary mint mark. You can actually see the extra top serif on there. Very attractive coin, by the way. This one's like a XF, maybe low-end AU condition. Hope you guys are enjoying this little find here. Here's another one, same RPM as the previous 54D. So we turn around there. There you go. Check that out. Pretty cool, huh? So this RPM is actually a D over D over D. You could actually see a third D south of the primary mint mark. So you got one north and you got one south. Okay, of course, the more dramatic one is north of the primary mint mark, but you still have a third D over D or a third D underneath the primary. You could kind of make the extra D underneath there. So this will give you a little bit of general idea of what's out there to be found. You know, it's not all about key dates and silver. And here's a 55D. I don't know what's quite on this one. Is there anything on this? Oh, yeah. Okay, this one has a little minor, I don't know if you guys can see it, die clash. Yeah, you see that right there? It's kind of tough, especially with the light right on it. So, yeah, this one has a die clash. It's nothing, spectacular, but it's there. This one is a 52D, and I believe this is my D over S, and it sure is. Check that out. That's a D over a S mint mark. You can see the bottom loop of the S underneath the D. If I do this now, I think it's much better. Like so. This is a Cherry Picker's Guide variety, by the way. The coin in this condition is probably worth about $10. Not bad, huh? There you go, D over S. Pretty neat. Yeah, it's a good one. Here is a 63D. This is a double die, I believe. Let me see if you could see the other 3 underneath the bottom curl of the 3. Trying to figure out the best view. I think it has everything to do with the lighting. How's that? Can you see that? This is also a Cherry Picker's Guide variety. You could see that extra. Let me see if I could use my pointer here. Right there. You could see that extra 3 underneath the 3 there. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. There you go. Pretty cool. All right. I love finding those. Love finding those. They're actually not that difficult, to be honest with you. Here is a 58D over D. So yeah, you could see the secondary D is south of the primary D on this one. Pretty cool. It's one of my favorites. Surprisingly, it's not in the Cherry Picker's Guide, but it is a Wechsler What do we have here? 59D. This one I believe is just a rotated mint mark variety in RPM. Nothing spectacular on this one, but it's pretty neat to talk about there. That one actually was, it's a memorial, but it was in my wheat sign bag. Here's something neat. Check out the mint mark on this 45S. Okay, you have a complete void on the top loop of the S. And yeah, that's just a little over polishing of the old die there. I created that. It's not worth a considerable amount of premium. It's just a neat oddity, I guess, as a later die state. Here's the 57D, and I believe this is, yeah, another BIE. Not quite an advanced die state because the die chip in between the B and E is so small on that one, but they are very much attached to each other. Check this out. This is a something. It's a 45 with a crazy looking lamination. Yeah, pretty cool. I like this one. It looks like damage at first glance. So I'm like, oh, wait, no, it isn't. And we got a couple more coins here. 59D, which is not only an RPM, you can see the rotated mint mark in there, but it's also a struck through grease. Half of the first 9 is missing for what it's worth. So this is a BU 59D, by the way. This one was not in the wheat cent bag. I actually went through some BU memorial cents, and there was a bunch of 59Ds in there, and we got 2 of them too. Look at that, both an RPM and a greaser. Half of the 9 missing. Yeah. Well, I think that ought to do it for this evening. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little montage of some of my finds for the day. Of course, as you can see, there is probably maybe $100, $150 in value of error coins and varieties. Just in the 20 or so coins I showed you, but what, 25? So I did okay. This bag had a lot of returns. It was a lot of fun as well. So, you know, just a little something for you guys to look for. You know, as always, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The best way you can support my channel, and it's never going to change, ladies and gentlemen, and that's hit the like button. And don't forget to share and subscribe till your heart's content. I appreciate your guys' time. You guys have a wonderful evening, and then we'll see you with more great numismatic stuff. So for all you coinaholics out there, I'm Sean, your Blue Ridge Silverhound host, and I'll see you later. Take care.